And there it is. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. Gather, come and join. One man went to more. Here it is. Muse with Ayana, rest with the rest, okay, and all that. Back again, fuller and stronger than ever after a bit of a hiatus. Have you missed me? If you have missed me, then come by indicate by showing your company. I am in situate yourself with me. That thing that happens round about this time, happening round about this time again, are you happening with it? One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Only water. Oh yeah, let's see go. Water, only water, where they see ma. Water. Oh yeah, say go come here, yeah, baby. Water, 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 water. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Water where they see ma. Water. Oh yeah, say go come here, yeah, baby. Water, 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 water. Water, only water where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Bọ́bí màsà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Chifu Failati kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dòde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ó jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dòde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Gbé bọ́dì ẹ̀ gbé ẹlẹ́mù dòde. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Odúyẹlá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petrosodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Ìgbàlà ti àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o.
And there it is, Eko Koniriwa Gbeshe, the care guide, a powerful prayer as I often indicate to you. So, Eko Koniriwa Gbeshe, and by the way, some of these storylines might be out of sequence, but this was the storyline that I was intending to do 2 days ago before I took a 2 day stay away from the platform. So, essentially, where I left off is where I'm picking up again. Buhari rules out creation of police or Buhari rather rules out creation of state police, accuses states of causing imbalance. So quite how he justifies what some people will describe as uh, unjustifiable. How he justifies the unjustifiable, we find out in due course. So this now a storyline that a lot of you will almost certainly be aware of, but we catch up nevertheless. Magodo, Southwest governors, SANs attack Malami, AGP, AGF, false alleged impunity. So of course that storyline of that fateful day in Lagos State, where what's his name? Where Sanwo Olu'S was thoroughly embarrassed by just some corporal policeman. But really, they blame not to the corporal policeman, of course, because the system was essentially what embarrassed Sanwo Olu'S. Magodo, Southwest governors, SANs attack Malami, AGP, AGF false alleged impunity. So there you have it. Just that space we revisited, or at least we visited for the first time on this platform. Imo State, Okorocha is my younger brother. I have nothing against him. He's a small boy. Essentially, UZODINMA speaking, of course, that never-ending battle within those quarters, those two fat ladies, Okorocha and UZODINMA, rolling as ever in the mud again. Imo, Okorocha is my younger brother. I have nothing against him. A headline attributed to the Fulani governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. You can't try that with Wiki. Nigerians react as police officer disobey Sanwo Olu. So this story now ties in with the first story, so I might well just sequence them so that they follow. So I just move that right across, so it's right next to that one. So to that space, and finally, to this space, Malami speaks on what Buhari will consider before granting Kanu's release. So conditions then for the release of Umar here born. So that in play too. So plenty in play. So lean back, kick back, sit back, relax. Gather, charge up your glasses and take it easy. The final throes of the festive season, spend it with that faithful or your laughing man that you've now grown accustomed to. I'm not saying you've grown to love also. I'm not inviting anybody's love, but I'm inviting your accustomment, if there's ever such a word. So accustom yourself and accustom yourself to this. The Python dance.
iPod omeriwo n'Izu Oniroya Abakare Mama Daora Olabori Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Olabori Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance the three. Unapori Meri Nnamdi bu onye du aimo. O Meri wone n'izu mbiro ya. Abakare mamanda ora. Unapori Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoli Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoli Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoli Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoli Meri Nnamdi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Now Python dance 3. Unapoli Meri Nnamdi.
And then you heard it there. Nnamdi win the war. Ugly rumor. So, Nnamdi win the war. As guys, I bring you this. Buhari rules out creation of state police, accuses states of causing imbalance. Nigeria's President Mohamed Buhari has ruled out the suggestion to strengthen the country's security architecture with a state police system. Buhari, in an interview scheduled to be aired on Channels Television at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January the 5th, said state governments are guilty of causing an imbalance in their respective domains. State police is not an option. Find out the relationship between local government and governors and the third tier of government getting what they are supposed to get constitutionally. Are they getting it? Buhari said. Let the people in local government tell you the truth. The fight between local governments and the governor. Buhari's comments are his first response to calls from security experts, legislators, and even some members of his party, the All Progressive Congress (APC). The president's stance opposes that of Nigerian governors who have insisted that devolving police structures to state and local levels would reduce the security challenges facing the country. Despite the governors generally being regarded as the chief security officers of their state, no security agency created by Nigerian law is answerable to state governors. On Tuesday, an assistant superintendent of police openly and publicly disobeyed an order given by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu. As the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, I don't know of any state governor who is not in support of policing being devolved to local levels. Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi said, whilst delivering a convocation lecture at the Nigerian Institute of Journalism (NIJ) Ogba in Lagos, there must be multi-level policing. It is an idea which time has come. Pardon me. The excuse that state governors don't have the resources to fund such is a fallacy. Buhari, however, does not see the need to alter the overstretched system of a federal police system, which many have criticized to be ineffective to Nigeria's current realities. Instead, Buhari, traditional rulers have, so that should be his, Buhari said. Instead, Buhari said, traditional rulers have an integral role to play in securing communities in Nigeria. Buhari noted that traditional rulers have the identities of people in different localities and their families, adding that they should not be undermined. The role of traditional rulers must not be undermined because in their areas they know who is who, even by family, not to even talk of individuals, Buhari said. So there you have it. They can kill as many as they like, but you would never get the security to secure yourself. Because his understanding is that if they devolve power, they lose their potency. Because the totality of the entirety of what underpins elements like Buhari is the monopoly of force. Buhari is a gunman and he understands gun. He knows that if he's holding you at gunpoint, then he's holding you hostage. But if you have a gun, then it's a standoff. That is essentially where it stands. You can't try that with Wike. Let me see. What should come first? Pardon me. Yes, you can't try that with Wike. Nigerians react as police officer disobeys Sanwo Olu. So now, this is a story that no doubt every single one of you would have heard or seen. But if you have not heard or seen it, I have a little clip of it. Hopefully, this thing doesn't kick me off as I try to play it to you. I have a little clip of just what's led to that headline. So hopefully I don't get kicked off as I play you this.
No, which you don't even know anything about. It's not investigated. It's a case between the supposed people and the government. It has nothing to do with the residents. Please, can you call the superior in Abuja that you need to deactivate and need to meet Lagos now? Please, can you call your superior in Abuja and tell them that the governor is here and I'm the chief security officer and that you don't have any business to do in my state right now and that I want you to disengage.
Sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Up, governor. Number one.
My own. That's why I'm asking you to make a phone call and tell them your superior that I'm here standing in front of you. Make that phone call.
Thank you, sir. I'm here on instruction of this Secretary of Police to the AGF, sir. And that is why I'm here. I'm too small or too low to call them. Your Excellency, with due respect, sir, you can call them directly, sir.
So that you are superior. So Inspector General Police asked you to come.
I'm here on instruction of Inspector General Police to the AGF and to the General of Police.
I have spoken to the Attorney General.
Okay.
So he's not aware that you are here.
Well, we're expecting the call that we should disengage.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yes, sir.
Because when I make the phone call, it will be tougher. If you can call and say that the governor is here in front of you, what should you do?
It is not my duty to call because I'm too low to do that, sir. Okay. If you call...
So where are your men?
My men are here. They are all over the estates.
How many men do you have here?
I have several of them, sir.
What number?
I cannot precisely tell you the number.
So even if anything happens to your men, you don't even know the number of men?
I know the number of my men I have.
So what is the number?
We sought for some other people to join us.
What is the number that you have here?
I'm sorry, sir. Your Excellency.
So you cannot even do an head count of the number you
For
got?
the security purpose, I cannot say this is the figures.
So you don't know the number of men?
I know the number, but for security purpose, I cannot say this is
So you know I'm the one talking to you.
Yes,
You say
sir.
you're assistant, what is it? I'm CSP.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, Pressman, don't worry. I'll make 2 phone calls, right? One to the Inspector General of Police and one to the Attorney General of Police.
So there you heard it. It's unbelievable, but it did happen. The purported supposed chief number one security officer of Lagos State gives a direct instruction to a low level security operative, and that security operative, you saw him, he told him to F off. F off is what he said. Who are you? I don't answer to people like you. My ogas are in Abuja. You heard it. But then, of course, so that now that is the argument. You see that follows nicely from the first storyline when Buhari was telling them to go and whistle in the wind if they want state police. So that gives you the argument then to both sides of that narrative. So what we saw transpired in Lagos State gives you the argument why we need state police, because the state police then will be under the direct instruction of the state governor who coordinates them, which is what his role should be as the chief security officer. But the other side, that tells you why they don't want state police in the states. So they can, from Abuja, act at will and just send men to whichever space within any space in Nigeria and assert their force. So that is why they don't want you to have state police, because if you had state police, some rascally guy from Kebbi State called ABUBAKAR Malami cannot sit in Abuja and weigh upon Lagos State to the direct conflict of the number one citizen of that state, which is what we saw play out. So those are the two strands now of the argument. In that little cameo, in that little soupçon, you saw the reasons why they are so adamant that you won't have state police, because they want to continue to wield the whip hand over you. And you also saw in that little soupçon the reasons why you should have state police. So there it is right there. You saw it in black and white or in color now. Technicolor, you saw it. So now the reactions to, pardon me, you may wonder why I've been off. I've had a bit of a flu, so if you hear the denseness in my voice, that is me still bunged up by the weather. Okay, so now let's take it now from here. You can't try that with Wiki. Nigerians react as police officer disobeys Sanwo Olu. So let's whittle through this. Let's whiz through this. Nigerians have continued to react to the video currently making the rounds on social media, where a yet to be identified chief superintendent of police (CSP) turned down the order of Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to leave Magodo Phase 2 estate. The governor was at the estate following a demonstration by residents against the deployment of security operatives to the area. According to the video, the governor asked the officer to vacate the estate, but the CSP turned down the order, saying that they were acting on the instruction of the Inspector General of Police through the Attorney General of the Federation, the governor said. Pardon me. The governor said, "Can you call your superiors in Abuja and tell them that the governor is here as the chief security officer? You don't have any business being in my state right now, and I want you to disengage right now." The CSP replied, "I am here on the instruction of the Inspector General of Police through the AGF. I am too small and too low to call them. Your Excellency, sir, can you call them, sir?" Some Nigerians who reacted to the development hailed the governor for his calmness whilst interacting with the officers. Some of the reactors asserted that Sanwo Olu's River State counterpart, Governor Yemson Wike, would have dealt with the officer if he was the one being disrespected. Below are some of the reactions compiled from Facebook. So Ovie Ogworo, River State Governor Wike wouldn't have wasted time with the so-called CSP who doesn't know his superior. Ayodele Davis, They can't try this nonsense with Governor Wike in his state. What a shame. He would have just slapped the officer so that his eyes will clear, then he will properly understand his boss. Emmanuel says, just imagine, this governor doesn't know his rights. Get them arrested straight away and nothing will happen. They can't be operating in your state without your consent. Chinonso Bernard. Nigeria is a banana republic. AGF is not aware. ITP is not aware, and the chief security officer of the state not aware, but police are being deployed from Abuja to Lagos to take over an estate. Sorry for Nigeria. Olongu Francis. Imagine this happening in Rivers. Wike will just release all the violence. So that should be violence. I don't know what that word is. After those officers, now IGP and AGF will look for how to reach Wike. So Odele says this shows very clearly that Malami ordered the Lekki incident of 2020. We have now seen the truth. Adekunle Jawon, this is life. Also, this is Nigeria for you. When they used you finish, they will surely dump you at the end. You see your life, Mr. Sanwo Olu. Shame to all Western leaders. So shame to all Western leaders, but the reactions still are coming thick and fast. Magodo, Southwest Governor's SAN's attack Malami AGF faults alleged impunity. The Southwest governors and some senior lawyers on Wednesday condemned the exchange of words between the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and a police officer at Magodo Phase 2 on Tuesday. The governors, in a statement by their chairman and Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu SAN, particularly took a swipe at the Inspector General of Police Usman Baba and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami SAN, over the deployment of police in Magodo. The senior advocates of Nigeria and security experts in separate interviews with correspondents berated the police, adding that the incident had further exposed Nigeria's weak federalism. In a statement on Wednesday evening, the office of the AGF faulted the allegation of impunity leveled against Malami by the Southwest governors. Many Nigerians were on Tuesday surprised when policemen led by a chief superintendent of police defied the directive of Sanwo-Olu to vacate Magodo Estate. The policemen had on December the 21st accompanied some people who planned to demolish some houses in the estate as part of moves to execute a Supreme Court judgment. Despite the intervention of Sanwo-Olu on December the 21st, the policemen refused to leave the estate. On Tuesday, the matter came to a head when the governor visited the estate and the CSP refused to carry out his directive that policemen should be withdrawn from the area. On Wednesday, the Southwest governors, in a statement by Akeredolu, berated the Attorney General of the Federation and the IGP over what they called utter disrespect and gross moral turpitude. The governors in the state, I do beg your pardon. The governors, in the statement titled Southwest Governors, Police Officers' Disrespect of Sanwo-Olu an Unacceptable Intrusion, stated that they had received with disdain videos of a disgraceful exchange between a police officer, a CSP, and the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the supposed chief security officer of the state, at Magodo Residential Estate. It said the utter disrespect, which underlined the response of the officer to the governor, established beyond doubt the impracticality of the current system, dubiously Christian federalism, an arrangement which compels the governor of a state to seek clarification on security issues in his jurisdiction from totally extraneous bodies or persons is a sure recipe for anarchy. We condemn in very clear terms the role of the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami SAN, in this act of gross moral turpitude. The governors noted the political system in the country treated elected representatives of the people as mere prefects, whilst appointed office holders ride roughshod over them as lords of the manor. If pardon me, if the purported chief security officer of the states of the federation require clearance from the office of the IG on matters within their area of jurisdictions, only hypocrites will wonder why the current security crisis deepens and there appears to be no solution in the foreseeable future. Uh, Also, senior advocates of Nigeria argued that the standoff between Sanwo Olu'S and the senior police officer was a clear evidence that Nigeria only practiced federalism in theory. Human rights activist Ebun Ola Adegboruwa SAN said the incident was evidence that Nigeria was not practicing true federalism. He said, it has thrown up the challenge on the pretense called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are not running a federation because matters like the command structure of police and other security agencies shows that we are running a unitary system of government as forced on us by the military. The reason the country is not developing is because of the centralization of that benefit by the elite. When a governor of a state being elected by over 20 million people is totally castrated on security matters, it shows we are not running a federation. It also means its security details can be withdrawn anytime. Adegboruwa added that the incident was a wake-up call to the National Assembly that had been claiming to be amending the constitution for the past 1 year. Also speaking to correspondent Yusuf Ali SAN, said what transpired in Lagos had brought to the fore the need for devolution of power. Ali said, this is part of the reason people are asking for the devolution of power. The chief security title of the governor is absolutely theoretical because the police is a federal agency. This is part of federalism that needs to be addressed. The governors, being chief security officers of their state, should have total control of the security architecture of the state. This is an area that must be looked into. It is like saying you have given me a space as the chief executive and I do not possess executive powers in certain areas. Another senior advocate, Robert Clark, said neither the appeal nor Supreme Court could enforce judgment because they did not have sheriffs, adding that sending police to the place was wrong. He said that the federal government, he said what the federal government did was wrong, adding that it gave way to the question of powers of the governor over police in their states. This makes everything meaningless. This should be looked into by the National Assembly, Clark said. In his contribution, Ifedayo Adedipe SAN said the Nigeria Police Force belongs to the Federation and not to the federal government. He said the police are created for the Federation and not for the federal government. Whoever contingent sent to a state should be responsible to the state government, to the state governor of that state. It is wrong and a misappropriation of the Constitution for the police to see themselves as exclusive to the federal government. So on and on it goes. Let me see if it doesn't. Okay, let me just, if it tells off here. Okay, let me just give you the fullness of it. Actually, that should do, actually, because that really just sums up essentially what is being said. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okorocha is my younger brother. I have nothing against him. Uzodinma, of course. So the two fat ladies, we go back to them. Uzodinma and Okorocha. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has described Imo West Senator Rochas Okorocha as his younger brother. Uzodinma made the remark whilst noting that he has nothing against Okorocha, who is a former governor of the state. Since assuming office, the relationship between Okorocha and Uzodinma has been frosty. On several occasions, Okorocha had accused Uzodinma of witch hunting his family. In December 2021, some police officers had, in a Gestapo manner, arrested Okorocha's son-in-law, Uche Nwosu, in Imo State. Reacting, Okorocha had accused Uzodinma-led government of being behind the arrest. However, Uzodinma said he has nothing against the senator and former governor of the state. Uzodinma spoke at a stakeholders meeting held at the state government's house in Owerri, the state capital. According to Uzodinma, I have said it time without number. I have no personal grounds with anybody. All of you who know me well in Imo, I tried one time or the other to contest election. In some cases, I won. In some cases, I did not win. And when I didn't win, I left back for my businesses. When I won, I served the people with all my heart. Okorocha is a younger brother to me. I am older than him. If not for anything, tradition. Okorocha is my younger brother. I am older than him. If not for anything, traditionally, I deserve to be respected by him. I don't want to join issues with him. Let him just know that he is not the governor, and for the short period I will be here, God willing, he should allow me to be governor. So there you have it. It's my aburo. He's so essentially asking him to come and take the Idobale position. So we round up still in the east and now to their number one son. Malami reveals what Buhari will consider before granting NNAMDIKANU's release. Following calls for the release, following the call to release the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB's leader, Nandekanu, sorry, let me take that all over again. Following the call to release the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB's leader, Nandekanu, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, ABUBAKAR Malami SAN, has said President Muhammadu Buhari will consider the interest of Nigerians. Malami, who featured on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria show, said, by way of general statements to the two issues presented, the issue relating to Kanu and by extension IPOB, what I can tell you for certain is that the decision of the president is based fundamentally and at all times on public interest consideration. In the art of governance and what I have come to learn about the mind and heart of the president, Mohammed Buhari, is to consider the 200 people, the 200 million, is to consider the 200 million as against the limited people. By extension, the issue of Kanu, what would as well govern the decision of the president in terms of whatever request is presented is the public interest as against the limited sectional interest of it. Some Igbo leaders had recently urged Buhari to grant Kanu freedom. The elders, led by former Minister of Aviation in the First Republic, Chief Mbazike Amechi, had made the call during a meeting with Buhari at the State House Abuja. The Amechi-led elders had urged the president to grant the IPOB leader an unconditional release. So there you have it, just a bit of a totality of a nonsense, essentially what it has to say. Public interest, who is the public and who's in, It's just a nonsense. That's just the totality of it. That is my reading of it. But let's see if there's all right. Ajale Koko, I see you. X0, I see you. And the mighty UK, I see you. Good to see you, gentlemen. Oh God Almighty, X0 man, we did not need to hear. Did we really need to hear that X0? What to do in the privacy of your? Look at this guy, Ajale Koko. What are you making of this guy, X0? Okay, we don't have Ajale Koko. What about you, UK? Are you there?
Yes. Oh my, what's up?
Oh yeah, good to have you both. This X0 now. Did we really need to hear about the business that you were doing? We don't
I
want to
was
hear
picking
just.
my daughter's. I was picking my daughter's things.
Look at that. We always blame it on the
So,
kids.
so,
Look
so,
at
so.
this guy. Eh? Eh?
I'm so sorry for that.
Good to see you all, gentlemen. Let me go to Ajale Koko first and start him off. Let me start you off in Lagos State because that's the hot burning issue. I'm sure you saw the video clip, a direct order from the chief security or the supposed chief security officer to a middle ranking police officer, and he tells him to go jump. What are you making of that?
Well, I don't see that police officer. The police officer did not disrespect the governor. He was only following the command structure as he told the governor politely and respectfully that he was too low to call the Inspector General of Police and Attorney General of the Federation. The command structure does not allow him to call them directly. The command structure allows him to call somebody a step above him. Position that is 2 steps above him, he cannot even call him. He cannot even call that one by the command structure. He can only call the position a step above him. So now, for him to call the almighty Inspector General, that one was is totally impossible for him. And that guy showed what we Yoruba call Omoluabi. He gently refused to do what the governor asked him to do. He was bowing down his head. He was very polite, very civil, very respectful. And he urged the governor that he can call him directly. He can call them directly. That he is too low to call him. So that guy,
yes,
he did not disrespect the governor. He was only following the training given to him.
But I beg to disagree.
No, hold on. No. Actually, I do agree. It's not necessarily calling for a public flogging of this police officer because, like you said, he was caught in the middle. He had no choice, and he was as polite as he could be. But we had no choice now. He can't pick up the phone and phone. So it wasn't I'm not necessarily calling for a public flogging of this police officer, but this little cameo that we saw, it highlights the fault line in the system. The governor is not the chief security officer of a state. If he cannot give a direct instruction to a middle-ranking security operatives and that guy not salute and carry out it immediately, then it's not if he has to make two phone calls before his order can be carried out. So that essentially highlights a fault line in the system.
One man, what we saw there, what played out there was simply constitutional problem. Nigerian constitutional call the governor the security officer of the state. Security officer on the state on paper but not in practicality. He does not have that power to command and instruct any police officer in the state. In the state where he governs, he cannot command any security officer, be a recruit, be a sergeant. He does not have the power. The what do they call that head of police officer in the state?
Commissioner.
Commissioner of police. If governor wants him to do anything in the state, he will have to take approval from the inspector general. If inspector general said, don't do it, he will not do it. That is the way the constitution of Nigeria structure it.
So that essentially then means the governor is not the chief security officer of the state. He's not. If the final decision, if the final decision and the final instruction does not end and start at his table, then he's not the chief security officer of the state.
That one is very clear. It's very defined. It's clearly defined by the Constitution of Nigeria. Let us not deceive ourselves. That Constitution is a jamboree. It's a boju-boju. It's wayo Constitution. That is why we have been calling for this Constitution to be dismantled and let the people sit down and write the Constitution that will work for them. So it is the constitutional problem right there. So that young guy was sent by Inspector General and Attorney General of Police, Attorney General of the Federation from Abuja. He came with his team from Abuja. They are not from Lagos. They came from Abuja to carry that assignment. They are not responsible, even to the police commissioner in Lagos State. They came directly from Inspector General. And that guy stood his ground. He told the governor, please, sir, I came from above to carry out a responsibility, and this is what I'm complied to do.
Absolutely no blame to that police officer. Not a single blame to him. What can he do now? What is it? What can he do? Politely,
what can he
do? There was nothing more he could have done. But the system, to Ebmuade Goruwa's argument that how can it be that 20 million people said we are putting this guy in the seat of this state to superintend this state, but some Fulani guy from Kebbi State can override him from Abuja. How can that be? How can that be?
That is the problem of Nigerian Constitution. They should intensify. They should intensify on the dismantling of this constitution. This is what they need to do. All of them shouting here and there and talking, oh, you suppose, how can that be? Yeah, let's call for the dismantling of this nonsense constitution. So those of us that are fighting hard for Yoruba nation and saying that this constitution is a fraud, they should join us and let us dismantle this constitution.
Do you think Sanwo Olu was too docile in his response? Do you think he was too docile in that cameo that played out? Was it too meek in his manner?
No, I don't think so. He was just trying to test.
Remove Sanwo Olu and put Governor Wike. What would have played out?
Nothing will have played out. The guy would have still stood his ground.
So Governor Wike would have had him arrested by his personnel, and he would have physically dispersed them.
They won't do it. The police officer of the state. No, the police officer of the state would not do it because they knew that guy. Yeah, because they knew that guy is from above. He was sent from above. It's not from the state command. They won't do it. Amosu, what is the Akim Amosu, the state commissioner of police, was with the governor there.
Odumosu.
He was with the governor and his team. They could do nothing because they knew those guys were from above. And that guy gently told the governor with respect, with humility, with with Omoluabi
to get lost. To get lost.
Sir, I can't do it, sir.
So, excuse me, sir. Can you politely F off? You know, can you politely F off?
So,
God Almighty. Is this what they call more or lyrical? What's going on? Unbelievable.
So
in Orlando, some guy from Kebbi State is locking.
Well, that guy, he was just doing the job the almighty Inspector General and Attorney General sent him. He was just doing his job, and he did his job well. And he was so professional. The governor was even asking him, how many of you is here? He said, I cannot tell you, sir. So governor was putting it to him. So you don't know how many of you. So if anything happens, you cannot even account for it. He said, I know, but for security reason, I cannot.
He did not know. He did not know. That security reason was just.
He know them. He know, but
he doesn't know the numbers. I don't think he knows the numbers.
Why wouldn't he know it? He came with them. Why wouldn't he know it? One man.
No, he just took men now. You are trying to accord a bit more structure to this. These are just yam heads now. You know them. But no, it's a good thing that this thing did happen because it's now publicly highlighted.
Yes.
The true situation of the country. When some guy from Kebbi State can sit in Abuja and instruct some police officers to carry out activities in Lagos State against the weight of that state, and they can carry it out and repel the weight of the state. So that tells us that
what we saw there.
That explains everything: the insecurity, the lack of progress, the cumbersome way that the country just grinds to in a standstill. That just that little cameo explains a lot of everything.
What played out there, one man, to me, is a threat to democracy. It's a threat to democracy. We are playing it.
We are not running a federal system, so they should remove Federal Republic.
But
we're not running a federal system.
Yeah.
So why? Yeah. Somebody should challenge that removal of that something in court. We are not running we are running a unitary system of government.
One man, can I say something?
Yeah, come in UK.
Yeah, I want to say some, the thing, seeing those kind of picture, man, the thing really disgusts me because one, how can the Yoruba people will be there? Dangote will come all the way from Kanu and come and build refinery, while Lagos State government itself cannot even build refinery on their own. How can Yoruba people will be there? Somebody will give authority from Abuja. Then, when I look at all these things, man, one man there's something going on, man.
What this tells us, UK, is what we have already known, but is now evidentially presenting itself that the way the country is structured is not fit for purpose. It's just for the pecuniary interest of a narrow but a greedy few. They know that it's not working, but it works for them because they are looting billions of dollars. And that is all they care about. But what we saw now is we are now seeing evidence more and more of what we have always asserted, that the way this country is never going to go anywhere. X0.
Yes, you see, this now, if you escalate this, it now tells you that I will relate this back to Buratai when he was the chief of the army, I think chief of army staff. When we were asking who sent military men into Lagos State. If you watch what happened, what just happened tells us who is sending these people into the state. If Sanwo Olu'S is not responsible for sending people into the state, and when he finds people into the state, those people are not answerable to him, it tells you that even the 2020, the Lekki massacre, he is kind of vindicated now. We are now looking at a clear monster of the federal, or what's it called, the unity government of Buhari, under the auspices of the likes of Malami, Buratai, and co. This shows you where the power lies. These governors, are mere governors on paper. They don't have anything to do with the security of the state. I'll leave you to your bit.
No, somebody described them as prefects. So that's essentially what they are. And that's another space to challenge. These people are not governors, they are prefects, school prefects.
Yes, but even at that, why I say I don't blame I blame this man and the system is that the system itself should have educated people in security that if a governor appears, the governor is the #1 citizen of the state. All allegiance goes to the governor, who is the chief security officer of the state. So anybody that any police chief is sending to a state should be able to speak for the police. If you are not able to speak for the police, then don't come. That is where I say this man is wrong. Anybody being sent on any official duty should have the power to speak for the police that they are representing. If you cannot speak for the police, don't show up. And more especially when the governor is the one asking the question. Somebody has to speak up. Somebody in that group. So the man should have said, okay, I'm not the one responsible for the media. Let the person who's responsible, or I'm not the one responsible for this team. I'm just, but the person in charge of that operation should be able to speak to the governor and explain everything to the governor. That's why I said it's either that man is at fault or the person who is in charge of that operation didn't show his face.
No, it's just it's a systemic failure. I mean, everything you are saying is right, but the broader and the bigger picture is a systemic failure. It's a constitution that is not fit for purpose, and a governance, a country that is structured essentially to fail. The Nigeria is structured to fail, and this is what we saw. That little cameo, that little soupçon that we saw just then, that's just it. That tells us all of everything that we need to know. It will never, ever, 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 ever work as it is constituted.
Let me tell you one man.
Yeah.
All this hue and cry that we are making here is what we will get in that country, what will happen, what we have seen happen yesterday, today, and the same thing will happen tomorrow. What am I talking about? Illegality. Illegality way of doing things in Nigeria. Illegal way of running the state. So the bedrock of every democracy is the constitution. But when your constitution is very illegal, everything that you will be doing in that country will definitely and in totality be illegal. So the way we are running that country is totally illegal because the constitution that we have that gave us the power to run that country is an illegal constitution. So the problem...
But how do we break out of it is the question. How do we break out of this situation we find ourselves? Because it's not a constitutional review, because who's going to review the constitution? The people who have weighted it in their own favor are the people you are asking to review it. So that's not a pathway, but how do we break out of this?
You see?
One man. Okay, go ahead.
No, come in now, Xero. Yeah.
You see, I just want to remind you something. We had past leaders who had seen that this country needed help.
No, we are where we are now.
Yeah.
So
I know
it's Obasanjo's fault. It's
I know I'm representing that.
Look at
because
that.
now I think we have entered. I think we have entered
you can't help
a monstrous hole. I think we have entered a monstrous hole now because we certainly cannot fix this country to election. We certainly cannot. So I don't know. if we are going to fix it through war.
Hello,
which
one
everybody
man.
says no to. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, come in, UK.
Yeah. Man, the thing that will fix Nigerian problem is gonna be a very little spark of something, but that something is unknown. But that something, if care is not taken, it must surely happen because we need a total overhaul.
We cannot feel a sense of it, can't we, UK? We cannot feel a sense.
No, we are feeling a sense of, but it could be
maybe an
maybe
untenable position now.
The thing that will spark that thing, I mean, it's unknown, but it's already here.
Maybe it will be some little girl or some little boy that they will gun down unjustly, thinking that this is just, and then, but everybody is waiting. The whole country is waiting for a spark, but we all know that there's a spark that is coming because we're we cannot hold this position.
Nobody can. I mean, to the level we are as a Nigerian, nobody can be taking all this kind of
it's unbelievable.
Level of
we're being
impunity. The impunity is too much. The impunity is too much. And you know that we're already in a state of anarchy now. Could you imagine? No law. There's no law now.
The people who would have changed it for us, the military, they are all in connivance. They have been bought over. They are now fulanized.
No, the military are gone. They are gone. They can't even fight Boko Haram. What are they? They are not. They are just there
and just because of the way the country, and just because of the way the country is
target and shoot people. That's all.
Yeah, and the way the country is made up of several ethnicities, it doesn't give room for patriotism because every ethnic group for himself. So who's going to now stand up and lead the fight? I expect another.
It's actually the mismanagement of that diversity rather than that diversity itself. Because the diversity could have been and should have been a beautiful thing, but the mismanagement of it, with the Nigerian space being essentially about two trunks, two track lines, ethnic and religious politics. So that's what's led us here. It's not the diversity, but the mismanagement. Look at BUHARI as an example now. When is wall-to-wall Fulani government? How can anybody abide that?
You see? And we're talking about joining forces. I don't know why the... Are you back
on that jollof rice again? You're always sitting. Are you back on that jollof rice again?
Yeah, but
I'm with this guy. and chicken Abi. And chicken Abi. Have you ever heard the word salad? Is there salad in your diet?
No.
Do you even know what salad
I
means?
Don't care. I eat at work. I eat at work when I'm with this.
Only goats eat vegetables, Abi. Look at this guy.
Yes. So Nigeria, we are used to eating yam. You know. So as I was saying, we cannot, if our diversity cannot be used, because we have been so polarized by this government. If we are ever going to get it right, I mean, look at the kind of rhetoric we are getting from Niger Delta. They don't understand the power of a huge military force. The Niger Delta cannot stand on its own. It needs a military force, and they cannot say it wants to be consumed by the north if the southeast should leave. You understand? But I don't even expect them to be springing along that line. There should be a one south unity, even one south and middle belt unity. By now we should be able to form two countries from this country, and then there will be a negotiation. I'm telling you. But because all these people are eating money left, right, and center, in fact, when they want to go right, there are people who say, don't be careful. When they want to go left, there are people who say, be careful. So everybody's scattered, and that is why we give this power. We are sitting under this table for them to eat. Period. By the time we stand up, this table will crumble. We are the truth. That's the truth. And they have not killed us enough. Because as I see Nigerians, they are so docile people. Nigerians are docile. You can imagine why. I still relate this to the slave trade. Why they took so many slaves from West Africa?
No, you are going too far. We are going too far.
Thank you. Thank you.
We saw rebellion October 2020. So it is there. It is there. They have it within them, you know. But
Go see
how
what
to
the,
how to
Arabs are,
calibrate it?
go see how the Arabs do their rebellion.
No, the Arabs, the Arabs are a homogeneous society, and they're able to rally quicker than Nigerians, because Nigerians have to rally across so many divides: ethnic, religious, cultural orientation, education. You know, the North don't even know what they are talking about when they say NSAS. They just see it as
But
some
but
anti.
you forget one thing. The people that put all of us in this mess, the Europeans, they are united along that their color of their skin. No two European countries have the same languages, but they have that European body. It's so strong. It's so strong that it's unbeatable.
You've
Never
heard of the
should have been
Second
able
World
to
War.
unite us.
Have you not
After
heard of the Second World War?
the Second World War, they let that lesson and see what they have to
Look
do.
at that. Look at that.
There's a point when you have to learn your lesson. If at this point, after 400 years of slavery and all the colonialism, we are still here, it means we are docile. We are docile.
No, we are somewhat docile, but not along the lines you are describing, but on a different track. But we're docile.
400 years of slavery. How many
Forget
centuries of
the slavery.
colonialism?
Forget the slavery. Everybody went. The Europeans were enslaved too. Did you
And they
know
came
that?
out of it.
Hold on. Did you know that the Persians, they controlled all the way deep into Spain and some part of Italy? Go to Spain now. All of the Baroque buildings that you'll see the Islamic influences of the Persians still there. The Mongols, they colonized a lot of Europe. So everybody went through that period.
Okay. Then see where we are today. Tell me how we're going to get out of this. Certainly not to election.
At least we will recognize that we're in an untenable position. So if you're in an untenable position, then how you then get yourself out of it? Yeah, is the question, because we're at a crossroad. Do we continue to bear the weight of it in perpetuity, or do we find a way out of it? This is essentially the conversational space now in Nigeria and really the broader African space.
And the worst part of it is, do we still have to continue to make it look like it's some light thing that's happening? For goodness sake, we can see that this government is robbing us of our rights, our lives, and our livelihood.
We all see that.
Don't let us deceive ourselves, man. The constitution, like we said, is an illegal constitution. It's not fit for any purpose, but it works well for the politician. It is only when you see politicians in conflict against each other, then we want to say that, oh, they disrespect the governor. That guy did not disrespect the governor. The governor knows too that the constitution does not fit for any purpose. All of the politicians knows that the constitution does not fit for any purpose. But because the constitution still gives them some illegal power to oppress the people and carry out illegality against the people, and that is, they enjoyed it, it works for them. It's only when it does not work for them, you see them cry. What happened to Sanwo Olu'S? I like what happened to him. Is it not the same Sanwo Olu'S that went to destroy that small-scale industrial village in Yaba that we were talking about, that we are all crying about the other day? When he did not follow the law. Is it not the same Sanwo Olu'S? Why didn't he follow the law? The case was in court, and the court gave an injunction that everybody should remain status quo while the case was ongoing in the law court, but he went swiftly. He used the power of illegality and went to destroy people's property and their equipment and all their means of livelihood. He went and destroyed it. What did anything happen? He took the same police. He used the same police officer under his own command. I mean, that he can use with the little power given to him as chief security officer of the state, he used it. Illegal use of power. He used it. He damned the power of the court. He went and did what he did. So when the people above him are now using their own power against him, so what is our own complaint about that? We are
but two wrongs don't make a right, though.
That is why we are calling for dismantling of this. Where you don't dismantle this constitution, you can't have anything right.
But hold on. How can that happen? How describe what you are suggesting? How is that constitution dismantled?
How we can dismantle it is for Buhari. We had a constitutional conference by Jonathan. Why can't we put that into practice?
Well, you know Buhari is not going to do it, so you know that.
Okay, yeah, Buhari is not going to do it because we have a legal constitution that gave him all the power as the president to use whatever he wants to use. He had all the power. All the power is centralized to him. So he's enjoying that. That's a black man greed. So that's why he doesn't want to do it. So until when we have our own people's constitution, that is when things will work well. People have been calling for state police, but they don't want to do it. Even state governors in the state, governors in the north, in northern states that are ravaged with banditry, they are calling for state police too now. That the criminality that was going on
Buhari is saying is opposed to it, though. So his argument is that is that the governor should go and interact with the local governments and the and the traditional rulers. This is what he's saying.
You know that man have nothing in his head. You know that man has nothing.
He does, but what he's saying essentially is that he's not willing to give up that power.
Yes.
That is what he's saying. So whatever else he says, it doesn't really matter. He can say jabba, 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 anything he says. What he's saying essentially is that he's not willing to, because if having state police is meaning having to devolve the federal police structure, because you cannot hold the federal police structure as it is and then have state police. So they have to divest a lot of what is the federal police structure to the state police system, and then have like a looser federal police space to look after federal incidents. You know, so that is essentially devolving it. And that also means conceding arms to the state police, which then means arms in the South. They don't want arms in the South, is what I think the essential problem is.
Yes, look, let me tell you, with the devolving that power, does not mean that you are going to dismantle the federal police. You can still keep the federal police.
Yeah, but not to the size and the weight of it. A lot of their assets has to be, broken down. You can't have it as big as it is and then have another set of, because that's an overload, isn't it? So
you don't know. They can still keep them. I mean, the state police will just be a complement to their effort.
Yes,
but the
federal police at the moment, the size and its weight and its budget is to cater for the policing of the entire federation. So if you have state police, then the federal police does not cater for the policing of the entire federation anymore. So necessarily, it has to devolve its budget, its assets, and its weight. It has to be broken. It has to be pruned down.
Well, that man doesn't know. To me, he doesn't have solution to any problem. Even his state, the Buhari. So the nonsense he doesn't have solution to any problem at all. He doesn't have solution to any problem. So the way they are killing people in the north is good for him, even though those people the state governors who are calling for state police that
You know,
if they
I don't
can,
think he just doesn't care because I think his own thing is just to be president and to have that name and complete his term so that if he's not the longest serving president, he's certainly the second longest serving president and to facilitate for his own people. So he doesn't, you know, I think if he had the choice, he would want the country to run better, but having to do anything to have it run better that will disadvantage him in terms of his power, he's not willing to do. You know, I mean, how can you not be? Every single person is saying that the structure does not work now. You are saying, it says, let the people in the local government tell you the truth, the fight between the local government and the governor. Buhari's comments are his first response to calls from security experts, legislators, and even members of his party. The president's stance opposes that of Nigerian governors who have insisted that devolving police structures to state and local level will reduce the security challenges in the country. Despite governors generally being regarded as the chief security officers of their states, no security agency created by Nigerian law is answerable to state governors. So on and on it goes. So it's just, you know, he doesn't care. That's just the thing.
We have a system that the federal government can be very oppressive against the state, and the state can be very oppressive against the local government. That is the system that we have. And when we continue with this system, we, as a country and the people, cannot have any progress. We won't have any progress at all. And then there won't be any progress. Look, the governors of the state, they are even worse than the federal government. The way they oppresses the local government, they does not allow local government to function. So the same way that the federal government does not want to devolve power, they too does not want to devolve power to the local government. So that is what the constitution we have in play. That is what it gives us. This constitution, that is what we have. And we cannot run a country successfully like this. You cannot run it successfully economically. You cannot run it successfully politically. So it's just, we are just in a jungle. Everybody just doing whatever they like because the constitution that gave you power to operate is illegal. It have no sense of purpose, no sense of direction. It has no vision. It has nothing. No sense of object. It have nothing to achieve. That constitution have nothing to achieve for the country. It's just a constitution that is there to work for some few cabal, criminal in power, just to work for them, not for the country, not for the people. It's just to work for criminals in power. That's it. So you cannot have anything. Nothing can work good for the country at large, and nothing will work good for the people of that country, you know, by as long as we continue to operate under this constitution. And that is why we have to kick these people out. You don't vote these people out of power, you cannot have your country. You can't have nothing. You just continue.
Yeah, but you keep saying vote these people out of power. So sorry, you keep saying vote these people out of power. It looks as though you've got the flu as well, Ajande Koko. The weather,
something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep saying vote these people out of power, but then vote who in is the question. Vote who in, or vote what in? You know, it's not the people, it's the system. And the people that are likely to take over, they are the same set of people as the people that were winning against.
You know my position. I've been saying.
But it can't be Showore though, so you know that it's not.
No,
it's
that
not
is you don't like Showore. Other people like them. We want smaller parties.
It's not even about liking or not liking him. But I'm sure even you cannot say Showore as the president of anything. It's not.
We you don't want it as president. Other people want him as president. But what we are saying, let us not vote for these two parties. Let us vote for different parties this time. And I believe these third parties will have that sense of patriotism to bring in, to let us sit down together and work on a new constitution that will work for every one of us. That's the only way out. But as long as
But I think the time is running out.
The what?
Huh?
I think the time is running out, because if there's any party that we are going to rally around, by this time we should be knowing them. We should be knowing their candidates.
Yeah, the point that was put into Ajale Koko is that he's saying don't vote for these two parties, but like you rightly said, there is nobody in the horizon as a champion for an alternative. Let's just forget this Showore narrative, because I don't think any serious person takes him seriously. He's not, and I don't even think he takes himself seriously. Even Moghalu, who is stronger, he's not strong enough. But who is a real person that presents an alternative, a way out? You know, I agree that replace PDP with APC and APC is just the same thing. But what is the real alternative? There's no real alternative.
We have alternative.
Yeah.
One of those alternative is Showore's party. We have PRP. Hold on. Hold on. We have PRP. We have PRP. We have ABGA.
Who is their candidate? Please mention their candidate.
No, these are not real people.
We are here. You are the one saying mention their. We cannot. We are over here. We don't know their candidate. Do you even know candidate?
There you are. We discuss politics every day. So how come we don't know these people? We discuss politics every day.
We know that I mean, for AAC, we know his candidate. We know Showore for president. We know him. But for the lesser position, we don't know. Do we know for all those other parties too? We don't know. But they are there.
Well, there you are. Then that shows they know themselves. No, they know themselves.
They are there because let me tell you, one man.
Is it a gentleman's club?
Let me tell you, one man. They are there.
Unknown soldier, unknown politician.
No, you have a corrupt system. You have a corrupt media that is not publishing about these people.
Well, so there you are. They are not known.
Don't say they are not there on the ground there. But you have your media that is not carrying them because they cannot give them brown envelope. They cannot give them brown envelope.
No. You see, that is not actually
an argument. They can give them brown envelope.
No, Ajale Koko, those days of saying the media, that's no longer tenable in this time and space. When everybody is a media to themselves, we are reaching to the whole world, just you and I, from our own front room. They have structures. Why can't they? They don't need traditional media to be known in space. Showore did not need traditional media to promote himself when he came to the fore. You know.
Do you know how much it costs? Do you know how much it will
because nobody believes. Just it's a.
One man, do you know how much it will cost you if you live in Nigeria to run this show? Do you know how much it will cost you every day? You should be able to do it if you are in Nigeria.
Oh, come on.
Do you think you no one man, no, hold on, one man. Do you think you will be able to run this show if you live in Nigeria? Do you think you'll be able to run it? You won't be able to run it.
I don't know the structure in Nigeria to know what's on offer.
You know how much you'll be running for data? You won't be able to run it, one man. It'll be so expensive for you to run.
They have bundles. Ego joins us every day and he spends hours here.
Yeah, you can see what is happening to Ego. Many times you want to talk to him, he has gone like bro. You'll be looking for him, and before he comes back,
he's out and about chasing women up and down, isn't he? Yeah. He's always driving around, picking girls off from his estate. So it's my neighbor. I want to drop her. Look, it's like Ego, come, you and I want to have words with you. That life that you are living, you are getting too old for that lifestyle. Go and settle down. Go and find yourself a nice village girl. You know. All right. Thank you, Ajale Koko. For reasons of time, let me go on to UK and sample him then on this talking point. I'll take you to the East UK and we speak about Okorocha. And UZODINMA, that never-ending saga, he now calling him his younger brother and essentially saying that Okorocha necessarily has not yet considered that he's no longer the governor of Imo State and he wants to be a backseat driver to his own governorship and is reminding Okorocha that, look, I am your senior by age and by tradition. You should really be on bended knees in my presence. So what are you then making of this back and forth between these two fat girls in Imo State, Rochas Okorocha and Hope UZODINMA?
Yeah, well, what I'm making, I mean, they're from the same local government, but I don't know if they're from the same village. You know, well, that is Nigeria for us now, because anybody that get off, you still want to be under control. You know, two of them are the same. So that's what I can say. You know, whatever that is going on in Imo State, two of them, they are involved. You know, so but my annoyance is anything that happen over there, they will tag it to IPOB or they will say Biafran people. You know, but they are the ones that are involved. They know what is going on in the state. They are the one that is bringing much problem to the state. You know,
did you see that clip of that arrested guy that pointed at Okorocha for the unknown gunman? There was some guy that was arrested.
Yeah. I saw the video. Yeah, I saw the video.
What did they make of that?
I mean, it's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, whatever thing that is going on is Okorocha and that is two factions now. You know, fighting for power now.
Two fat ladies.
So yeah, that is exactly what is going on.
But you know, when this guy, the governor himself, UZODINMA, when he was all about saying he knows the names of people who are doing this blah 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 in the state, that he's going to mention the names.
Yes, and
January
he didn't
something.
The event. Yeah,
I knew that guy was lying because you know how I knew that.
Just to look at him, you know he's a liar.
Yes, exactly. There's no security operative or anybody who really wants to catch the culprits that goes about blabbing that he knows the names of these people. They are his political enemies. He's going to mention their names. I mean, what do you expect? The people are going to run away if they truly are his detractors. So what he's trying to do is just power play playing out in that state. He's suspecting his rivals as responsible for his downfall or things that are happening in the state. But then you don't have cogent evidence. If you have cogent evidence, go arrest the culprits. Stop coming up and giving us bullshit crap every day, telling us you know the names of these. It is not IPOB, it is this. You mention them. I mean, you mention them and they are not going to flee. Or you have security operating from them every day. You don't fight your enemies by telling them what you're going to do. You do it. So this guy is totally out of his senses. That's what I'm thinking. The way they arrested this guy.
What just upsets me? What upsets me, Xero and UK, is the price of all of these things that we're talking about so casually. It's being paid in human lives, you know. People are being killed for this political play out. People. And we're just inured to that now. We don't even acknowledge that anymore. People are actually being killed for this political tussle. Daily.
The Nigerian life is as cheap as pure water now.
Yes,
it's as cheap as pure water now. Especially the life of my people in the south.
So one man, I want to say something. You remember when a channel were propaganda? Will I say it's a propaganda, or will I say because anything that all of them come out to say, sometimes I don't believe them. You know about that cannibalism that was taking place.
Yeah,
now.
that we were all mocking here.
When I look at it, sometimes I will say no, this man, because if that man come out to say something, I don't believe him because they are the one that are involved. They know what is going on there, you know. So they shouldn't be coming out and be saying, you know, things that when you look at it, then you also point that finger on them that they are the one that's even involved in all those stuff. You know.
It's unbelievable. But to this space then, UK, Malami reveals what Buhari will consider before granting NNAMDIKANU's release. So when I saw the headline, like I always say, I only read the headline and then we read the stories together. So I was expecting him to then list conditions. But what he essentially said in that interview was that Buhari will consider what is in the best interest of the 200 million supposedly Nigerians, as opposed to the narrow interest of a sect or an ethnicity or an individual. So what do you think he's saying with that comment? What are we reading into that?
Yeah, what I want to say, one man, is that they should, since they already, say they will go to court, let it do it by court now, because when you arrest person and start saying that the person, is guilty, so let them fight it at the court, as he already said. Then we will know who is at fault or who is not at fault. Me, I believe in court, though I know they have everything. I mean, the court belongs to them. Everything belongs to them, but still, we will still know the truth. That's all I can say. Because I know people who are representing NNAMDIKANU, I mean, they are equal to the tax, even if the federal government thinks
you have faith in Kanu's lawyer.
Yes.
They seem
Yes.
like posers to me. That one that bleaches his skin.
No. I see faith in them, because I know Malami cannot do anything, because Malami cannot challenge those guys. Malami doesn't have the boss to do anything, because we already see what he has been
Do
doing.
you not
So
object
somebody-
to that lawyer that bleaches his skin? What is it, AJ4? Which
One
one
man,
is it? The
please.
one
No,
What is his skin got to do with it?
Ejiofor is
Carol White.
you
Is
know,
it Carol White
the-
that is using?
the federal government should get their lawyer ready, because I know the guy. No matter what you look at him, he's a very smart dude. I mean, he can defeat them. Yeah, he can defeat them. He can defeat Malami. Malami will see that. Malami is not even fit to be Attorney General of the Federation. So let's see what will play out. Yeah.
Malami is what they used to call charge and bail back in the day. In Nigeria, it's a charge and bail now.
Ever since they gave him that authority, have you ever seen him make a very concrete statement or something that when you listen,
it's not even. I acknowledge that we all have the thickness of our accents, but I've always struggled to even understand anything that guy has to say.
Yes,
because
meaningful meaningful. Something meaningful.
Just the words. I mean, he speaks. You know, when this guy, when they kidnapped NNAMDIKANU, he held this press conference in Hausa. This is not a guy that can articulate fully in English. How can you have an attorney general that cannot speak English?
I want to thank you for making that statement when they kidnapped him. I want to thank you for making that statement.
No, we all know they kidnapped him now.
Yes.
I mean, that was a kidnap now.
Yes,
I'm a Kanu fan, but just I don't like to mock it. I just like to mock him, just to because I know that gets big, but I know that you see me, they will come running now if I start to mock him.
One man.
They'll come running and start to say, "How dare you?" So that amuses me.
So me, I'll beat my chest that Ejiofor and his team will defeat them. I mean, Malami doesn't have any. I mean, they can't match those guys. They cannot match those guys. If they play things the way it should be, Carlos should not even be in a cell. But look at when they kidnap Carlos, a whole Attorney General of the Federation start speaking in Hausa. I mean, does the country belong to Hausa or Fulani?
Hey.
Yeah? I mean, that's to show you the level of this thing. Well, this is the kind. I think they say it's quota system now or Expo now, because people who go through Expo to pass exam, that's to show you the level of their reasoning. Even if somebody who doesn't even go to school can even get good advisor that will advise them what to do, and they will do it well. But it is what it is. Let's just cross our finger and wait what is coming. But all I need to say is that let them just make it let it be a very fair distance judgment so that things will be okay.
All right. Thank you, UK. So we're joined by the mighty Mr. Gomez. So Alexander, what's happening in your state? Your supposed chief security officer, you being a negotiator, of course, and you come here and you brag.
Let me say Happy New Year to Alexander. Alexander, I always visit that sugar land. I have a couple of my cousins. They live in Sugar Land in Texas.
Well, there you are then. Oh, sorry, I muted you. Let me. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Where in Sugar Land?
The ghetto side. The ghetto side.
There's no neighborhood in Sugar Land that's ghetto.
It's for wealthy people. It's for people. I mean, Sugar Land is a wealthy place in Houston. It's a popular place in Houston. So.
Yeah. To Shike.
Yeah, thank you.
So next time you go and visit, make sure you.
Next time I will come to
contact Alexander.
Then, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander always likes to meet people in person rather than
coming back to this governor of mine, I've never seen any governor in the history of Nigeria so humiliated. I was so touched and embarrassed. It's sad. It's sad that
see how he was quivering at the
he was visibly embarrassed.
He wanted to cry now. The governor of
I felt so bad. I felt really bad. But that's Nigeria we live in now. I mean, there's one rule for one person, another rule for I don't know. This Mogodo thing I was telling a Jelly Coco yesterday when we had a private conversation that the same thing is playing out in Banana Island. The Omoniles of Banana Island, the soon Lagos State government, because apparently Tinubu and a guy called Senator Ashafa were responsible for selling lands illegally to people and pocketing half of the money. So the people the actual owners of the land have actually sued. They've won at the High Court, they've won at the Appeals Court, and once they win at the Supreme Court, the same thing that's playing out in Mogodo will play out in Banana Island.
I don't think they'll let it, you know, some of the wealthiest people on this planet, they live in Banana Island.
I like it because this will now make the middle class and the rich. They will be affected by the inconsistencies of this backward archaic system, and they will talk. Too quiet.
The one thing, just to you, Alexander, and somewhat to you, Exero, the one thing that continues to befuddle me in Lagos State is that when they still don't have a smooth process for land registration, they're still doing these things manually, and somewhat the documentations are not really strong. You can't just I can't go online rather, see a piece of land in Lagos State and just buy it and then just do my registration.
You know,
they should
the president
have digitalized these things a long time ago.
But
I've lost so many lands in just that Lagos space. You buy
but
it,
Buhari,
the wrong family that sold it to you.
Buhari did address that in his interview on channels the other day about the problem with the southern land because of the family association with the land as compared to the north. He did talk about it. That's the problem. A lot of the lands in Lagos are primarily owned by a family or a group of family. That's the way the South, especially Lagos, is.
So let them register it then. Then we know which family owns it. But what they do, the scam in Lagos is you buy it from one person and they give you all the assurances. And then just a year into your ownership, a different family comes and say that they are
if you want to buy a legitimate piece of land or two, one man, call me and I'll set you up with a legitimate owner of a land in Lagos.
All right.
The only problem is lands are not readily available anymore. You have to go towards the Ajah area to get anything legitimate or Badagry.
I'm looking at Ibeju Lekki. That's the
okay. I think land is. Another thing you could do that people are doing is you actually buy an existing property, demolish it, and build whatever you want to build on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what pulls me away from that is that they will sell you that as a property, whereas you are looking to buy it as a piece of land. So that's more.
That's true. That's true.
More of a spend.
It becomes more expensive. It becomes more expensive that way, but at least you have peace of mind at the end of the day.
Yes, maybe that's the way to go though, because when
you're
looking for cheap, then you continue to fall in the hands of all these.
But this issue of land, is not peculiar to Lagos. I'm sorry. This issue of land is not peculiar to Lagos. It's everywhere in Nigeria, but especially Lagos. You basically read the story about the Ikoyi registry. I think they said they nullified all the marriages they have done since 1980 something. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happened in Nigeria. You see, I fear buying land I fear it as much as anything else in that country, because you cannot tell what the next administration will do. You cannot tell who is witch hunting who and who wants who out of the place. Look at these places we are mentioning today: Banana Island, Magodo. These are the rich people. So if they can be affected like this, who are we? Who are the strugglers? Who are we? Who are the strugglers?
Yeah, but the whole thing is solved. The whole thing is solved by a proper registration process. So they should map out. Lagos is not that big. Map out the land, establish who owns every piece of land, and then if you are buying, then you can go to that portal, identify that you are buying from the legitimate owner, and then you buy it, the registration changes to your name, and then you register on that portal as now the legitimate owner. There's no magic to it. So what's the... And they keep saying not
one man. Can I say something? Yes. Good evening, Alexander. Just to say something about that land issue. Do you know now, like a week ago, we just paid a 3 million naira. My father-in-law bought a land 3 years ago at the sum of 15 million naira. We started building something there. Everything is going smoothly. 1 month ago, my mother-in-law called me, start panicking. I said, "What's going on?" They said the Omonile they are here. Said, "What is Omonile?" The land we bought almost 5 years ago. We started building, doing something. Immediately they saw you started a big project. They would just stop it. My mother-in-law started panicking. I said, "Calm down. What is going on?" They said they want to take the land. They've padlocked the house. Well, there is one man we put there just to secure the land. Because there is a bungalow at the back, just for people to live there. They padlocked the man with the house, with everything. One man, do you know, last week we just paid a sum of 5 million naira to the Omoliles. 5 million naira.
No, that's the story of everybody. All the lands that everyone bought in Lagos, they will take it and then they will say they want to resell it to you because it now belongs. It's a mess.
My father-in-law said, "What is going on?" Wow.
It's a terrible system.
It's what the government does also. They take land from a group of people, they don't settle them well, and then they sell them off, and then those families come back to you, who is settling on the land. Nigeria is just a deep mess.
Everywhere you look. But the mess, Alexander, in Lagos State, your governor, people are saying this would not have happened to Wike. So can you imagine Wike putting up with what?
No, I think I've subscribed to Angelico's take on that. I think they wouldn't have been able to do anything in River State too, because that order came from above. It came from Abuja. It came from the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General. I don't think they would have done anything. I don't think Wike would have been humiliated and like the way Sanwo Olu'S was humiliated. But I don't think at the end of the day he would have achieved anything out of it.
He would have put up more of a robust.
He would have. He would have. I felt so. I mean, I felt so embarrassed. I mean, I've never seen that kind of thing happen before to a state governor. It's sad. But
it's good that it came out in space, so we now know for sure what is going on.
Yeah. It's a shame, though. It's a shame. Anyway, that's Nigeria for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Nigeria for you. Happy New Year, Alexander. So,
Thank you.
One man.
Yeah.
My question is that how we are going to live as a people?
No, this is what I'm saying. We are getting to that point. We're getting to a tipping point where he has to tip one way or the other because he cannot carry on now. He cannot. He cannot
One
now.
man, let me go for my rounds. You guys have a good show. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Alexander. Good to see you. Looking well and rosy cheeked. Look at Alexander, looking young every day. So yeah, no, we cannot carry on. We cannot. How can we? You know, nobody lives the way we live in Nigeria, and we even shouldn't have to live like that.
One man, that tells us now that the rhetoric we normally hear that the governor the governor is the CSO of the state. That means it's just trash.
No,
they are nothing. It's just total nothing. And do you know what happened in that same scenario? The commissioner of police came. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything because when he spoke to CPS, he got that the command came from above. Even Odumusu too is powerless. He can't do anything. So you can just see how come you come to a state and the governor of a state, which is on paper, the head of security of that state, you carry out a atrocity and he doesn't know about it. That's what they did in Igboho in Ibadan. You come to arrest from federal. You can't even hint the governor of a state that you are coming to do such a thing. It's just unfortunate. So that means anything can come into the state, clear everybody, or do anything, and then go back to federal.
It's a terrible system. All right. So gentlemen, we're coming up to the 2-hour mark. So I'll seek to start to round off here. So I'll take closing remarks just so I know that I've touched all the voices that I've not yet heard fully from. And the voice that we've not heard at all, Charlie Boy. So Charlie Boy, good to see you.
Good to see you all, man.
Yeah. Hello, Charles. So then let me take you to the east, Charles. So the fight between UZODINMA and Okorocha never ending, and Malami giving us conditions for the release of Kanu, which wasn't really anything when we looked at it. So what are you making of those two talking points?
Yeah, to Malami, I think Malami to Vietnam, here's the reason why. Malami is like a small dog. Malami to Vietnam, here's the reason why. Because Malami is a liar, and he's to Vietnam counter for the people. If you want democracy in a society, the people decide, not you. You're not above the people. The people elect you. The people decide.
Well, he patently is. He's above the people. We've seen that demonstrated, especially latest in Lagos State. He is above the people. We know that.
Because here's the truth: if the people decide they don't want to be forced in this country, let the people decide. You can't just. That's what Africa needs to understand. Africa needs to understand that the people decide. The people decide their choice. They decide they want. They decide.
The people don't get to decide anything. Come on, Charles, man, get with the program now. The people don't decide. The people don't decide anything. Not in Nigeria, and certainly not in Africa. The people don't decide anything now.
Where are you sleeping at, woman? That's why you're saying this. You know the truth. The people don't decide Nigeria. How many people? Here's a good example. They elect a governor, but the federal government took that governor away from the people.
Well, there you are. So the people elected 20 million people elected the governor, and some random guy from Kebbi State, has more authority over Lagos State than that elected governor. So the people's choice don't get to do as the people will, people will. So the people have no say in anything in Nigeria.
So basically, you just answer my. Basically, why I'm saying so too. Thank you for saying that.
What are you saying? The people don't. If you're saying the people don't decide, then you are saying the truth.
That's the truth I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is why Nigerian people don't listen in their brain. Don't think. Nigeria gotta think.
Actually, hold on, Charles. There's something I've just noticed now. There are close to 80 people on the stream and only 20 thumbs up. So that cannot be right, surely, guys. You must help us out here. It's the thumbs up that generates the traffic. We all know this, and it's only a click of the button. So why don't you just do that? As soon as you come onto the stream, just thumb it up. Because that is the one way that you can help the platform to attract more people. So please do that right now. So next time I'm saying it, you don't feel guilty that you have been spoken to. So thumbs up. So when next I check, it's more than that's 20. But back to you, Charlie Boy.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying the people decide the issue with Nigerians is that the reason why Nigerian people are suffering is because Nigeria don't understand that Nigeria is a place. Nigeria is a country that the people. You could be a nice guy, but you should not be electing Nigeria. Because every time the people decide, they always find a way to shut people's voice up. This is Nigeria. They usually shut your voice up. When you say the truth, they'll shut you down. That's what they do in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's if they don't gun you down, which is what they do as well. They just gun you down, don't you?
Nigeria is like a lion. Like Nigeria, person like a lion, and we are like dogs for them. We're like chickens to them. They treat like babies. Treat like we don't want anything. And people are talking.
We're slowly being dehumanized in Nigeria. Our humanity is slowly being stripped away from us.
So if you have to in Nigeria. In Independence Day in Nigeria, how many Nigerians would say independent? They fake smile. Most Nigerians would fake smile, but they know they're suffering. They know that the Independence Day in Nigeria is useless. They know that, but they don't want to say it in public because they're scared for their life. Most Nigerians fake smile. They pretend they like somebody. That's why I think hopefully the bond that guy to find a baby. Why your government seem to be fighting each other? People being killed, and I can hopefully the man. He's the one causing all these problems. He caused all these. He's the one causing the
No, how is it the one causing all the problem? I would say the biggest problem they have in Imo State is OKOROCHA.
He was elected like they rigged the election. They rigged the election for him to be.
Yeah, we know that.
That guy's a criminal and a thug.
Well, we know that too. But OKOROCHA know better. That's why I call them two fat ladies. Is yin and yang, isn't it? No difference.
President Obama is a definition of a criminal. He's a definition of a criminal. You can tell.
How so? How so?
He's the type of guy who uses the police as a talk to attack his person. What he do? He attack people. That's what he did to OKOROCHA's son. He attacked him. And he's behind that. He's a thug.
All right. Okay, thank you, Charlie Boy. For reasons of time, let me let you go so that we reconvene for later. No, that was your closing remark. Sorry, Charles, we're pushed for time.
I pray that Nigeria wake up and fight for the future and don't be a dog. Fight for the future and be brave. Be a king.
All right. Thank you, Charles. So that was Charlie Boy. You know him and you love him. We all do. So that was Charlie Boy. So now let's take on these new voices just joined us. Victor. Is this our Victor or a new Victor? Are you our Victor or a new Victor?
I am your Victor.
There you are. So you left us, now it's come back home. So the prodigal returns, but you return to this. Lagos State are under lockdown from Kebbi State. What are you making then of Malami weighing upon Sanwo Olu'S in his own home state?
Well, I don't know what's going on between them right now. But the problem is that it's really affecting people living in their houses, and that's one thing this country don't take into consideration. They just want to do what they want to do and don't care who is suffering or something. So I hope they resolve it very well. I don't live in Magodo and I'm lucky. Because here,
now people like you, Banana Island, Abi. How can you be slumming it in Magodo? It's Banana Island now.
That's where we hope. That's where we hope to go to.
And look at this guy. Are you? Is your house not next to Davido's? Are you not that one that is always telling him to keep the noise down?
No, I'm not that man. I wouldn't even tell him to keep the noise down. Actually,
you go and join him instead.
Instead, yeah, exactly.
All right, Victor. So let me just for reasons of time, let me take you to Buhari disparaging the idea of state police, even though that need again highlighted by what played out in Lagos State. What do you then make of this man poo-pooing this idea, whose time has come and the country just yearns for it? What are you making of Buhari's stance on state police?
Well, we have always known that state police is the way to go. We really can't, for the fact that there will be a lot of problems, there will be a lot of teething issues, doesn't mean that it is not the right thing to do. We can try to separate these two. What is right to do and what will be the challenges. We have to separate the two. We face the challenges. It is the right thing to do.
All right. And the two fat ladies in Imo State, Okorocha and UZODINMA, a never-ending saga, continuing to roll in the mud. This time around, it's a small boy. It's my junior brother. He should be on his knees to me. UZODINMA speaks again, Fulani made. But what are you making then of this back and forth between these two corrupt politicians? Victor? Victor has frozen. This is what Ajan Lekoko was saying about the system in Nigeria. So good to see you again, Victor, but he has frozen now. So that Victor who rejoins us. So let's go on from Victor to UK. UK, just your closing remarks.
Yeah, well my closing remark
Thomas,
is...
what of me?
No, hold on, Thomas. Hold on, Thomas. Let me moderate the space because I noticed that you are somewhat pushy. Let me come to you when I feel the time. To you, UK.
My closing remark is this our nation called Nigeria. You know, both the old and young, we need to do something, you know, to put that country, if we are going to live as one nation, everything need to be done in the right way and at the right time, because the way things are going, people are not happy, and nobody will be in his land should be suffering as if you are in another planet, not even in the world. Because if you look at other countries that is even that are doing badly, they are still better than us. You know, for example, Afghanistan is still better than Nigeria. You know, because of we don't. Yeah. No. Because we are not. Our leaders are not doing our leaders are not doing what they should. At least Afghanistan have light now. They have good road, or even at least which one are we even holding? Is it light or road, or even water, or school, or even healthcare? One man, I mean, because I was watching that thing you said. I was doing research about the country. The country, we are on 27th, the richest in the world, 27. Yes. So why is it that we can't fix our place, make our place paradise, let other people come to serve us? Is it Nigeria that will go in everywhere, any place you look, Nigeria, every place you look, Nigeria? So can't we sit in our place and make our place paradise? Let other people come there, you know. So I mean, the thing is that I don't know what to even say. I don't know what to say, because I mean it's a very, very pitiful and very, very disgraceful, because as a nation like Nigeria,
you know what we say in Yoruba land, all right, yeah, God, round up. Yeah.
So as a nation like Nigeria, we can't get our act together. So when is it gonna happen? Is it thy kingdom come? Is it when it's gonna happen? So if it can't work, let everybody part peacefully and go and fix their place. I mean, that's all I can say.
All right, thank you. So now, thank you, UK. So now let's now go on to Pushy Thomas. So Thomas, to you. Hello, Thomas.
Thank you, one man. Yeah. Thank you, one man. We'll see you later. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. So from Thomas, we go on to X0. X0 to you.
Yes, the issues that trust there are quite touchy, But if you observe, anytime we trash on issues, they still boil down to one thing. That is the system. The system, the system, the system. How do we come out of this matrix? We cannot come out via election. The military is a conniving institution now. It's no longer an institution, it's not formalized. The opposition parties are equally corrupt. They're going to still kill us. If some people shout revolution, some people shout no evolution, some people will still say no, we will do it through election. We are still divided along ethnic lines, especially. Until we find our bearing as to how this corrupt system affects all of us negatively, we will still be dying like docile people. Docile. Only docile people never think how to come out of the situation. The situation we're in is not so bad that we cannot come together, form an alliance, and remove these people. But because we still want to be the ethnic warlords that we are, that's why people are still dying, people are still suffering. It will continue like this for a while until we realize that we all need each other. That's my take.
All right, thank you, X0. So always a delight. Good to hear from you, X0. So the final word, of course, as ever, to the mighty Ajanle Koko, to you. Just sum it up, just a short summary. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. So to Ajanle Koko.
Yeah, thank you, woman. Nigeria is a country where illegality is legalized, and that is what every one of them in power does, from the top to the bottom, from the federal government to the state government to the local government. What works for them by carrying out illegality is what every one of them does. The Constitution gives them the illegal power to function. So illegality is what they operate with. So, and they can never stop. So what happened in Lagos State is not a surprise to me. And it won't be the last one that we will see. What will come next, we don't know. So, but the main issue here is the Constitution. As long as we have that Constitution in place, that country will never have sense of direction. So Lagos State Governor himself has carried out illegality recently. When he used that illegal power to destroy that small-scale industrial village in Yaba. So that is what the Nigerian Constitution gave them. Illegal use of power and violation of the violation of the law. So that is what the Constitution gave them. And that country cannot have any sense of purpose with this kind of democracy that we operate. Democracy with a legal constitution. I mean, so that's the problem. So other than that, I want to thank everybody on the platform this morning. Please, thumbs up if you have not done so, as one man directed you. So share and like, and please come back in the evening session so that we can do it again. I thank everybody. I thank you, one man. So we'll see you later. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ajanle Koko. A real delight. So that was Ajanle Koko, who breaks in the new year as he left off the old year, insisting that Nigeria under the configuration can never work. So apologies for there's something that's I think the loud is bouncing off something and is acting funny on the screen. So, but we're about to round off. But let us round off with this comment by Ahizon. So Ahizon says, one man, 40 people are DSS on the platform. So this is what Ahizon is saying in response now to me, highlighting that about only 20% of the people on the platform have thumbed up. So if you have not thumbed up, Aizon is accusing you of being a DSS agent, which we know we have at least one or two of them constantly monitoring us here. But outside of that, if you are not, then you're probably some rascally person from the East that comes here to accuse me of being an Igbo hater. But nevertheless, you're never off the platform, but you never thumb up or you never subscribe. I see you, but do you see me? So see me later in the evening as we reconvene and we try and hustle through the year. Hopefully, in the course of the interaction, see changes for the better within the country that we call Nigeria. But will that change take place? I have my thoughts. Do you have yours? Share those thoughts with me in the comment section, which conversation usually carries on the platform in that space. So I'll leave it here. Carry that conversation within the comment section. But here, I say peace.